Here's a video about my second heart stent.
Hey, this is Dan White coming to you from my poolside studio in my backyard in Appling, Georgia. Today is April the 13th, Thursday, and it is 12:49. I came very close to dying. My cardiologist said on Tuesday, a little over a week ago, that I was 1 millimeter away from having a heart attack that would have taken me on home to glory, that would have killed me. And I was very fortunate to be walking at Patriots Park when I had the heart attack, because it was close to the EMT services and close to the fire department, and they really saved my life at that point. And the ambulance, which is stationed up there, carried me to the emergency room at Piedmont Hospital, and there the emergency doctors went to work and saved my life. And I'm very, very grateful to be here. Very grateful, thankful that I'm here today. Now, what was explained to me is that the heart attack went down my left side, and the doctor, cardiologist, said if it had gone down the right side, that is called the widow maker, and I would have died. So I'm very grateful to be here and grateful to continue my life with my wife and my home and my family and my brother and my son and daughter down in Alabama, and my daughter and son-in-law up in New Bern, which, by the way, they're moving to Atlanta. We just found out. We're excited about that, to be much, much closer, because it's a 350-mile drive up to New Bern, and we'll get to see them a little bit more. So back to my gratitude to be here today when I was almost taken out. Following this short introduction that I'm giving here, I have a video on YouTube about all that transpired and all that happened, and the doctor and some of the nurses and some of the even the transporter that got me to the car. And following that short YouTube section, then I'm going to talk about stents and talk about what transpired in my life. So I'm going to give you the stent history and the use of coronary stents and what all happened there at the place where I was at. I guess you'd call it the pre-stent room, or the get ready room, and then in the recovery room, and then finally in discharged. So for those of you that have had stents, and for those of you that have heart trouble, I hope that this video will be a blessing to you and give you some information about stents and about heart care based on what I went through. So enjoy this part of the video, and I'll see you in a little while at the end. Well, we're headed down Columbia Road, going to what's the name of that hospital? Piedmont Hospital? Yeah, it used to be University. I have 2 more stents put in today. I have confess that I'm a little bit nervous, anxious about it. You know what they say about minor surgery. That's when they do it on somebody else. So this has become a pretty routine procedure, I think, and we have the best cardiologists, surgeons around there at Piedmont Hospital. I was in there 2 weeks ago for an emergency stent that saved my life. Now these two are going to be preventive. We're taking an overnight bag in case I have to spend the night. You never know. So I'm prepared, and we'll see how it goes. Check back with you later. Well, today is Wednesday, April the 12th, 2023. It's an absolutely beautiful day, 55 degrees. Well, this is my prep room. I just got prepped, ready to go back and get the 2 stents in. Bye. Heading home.
All right.
Thank y'all for everything.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
Y'all
Have a great
are
day.
great.
What a feeling, feels believing. I can't have it all now, dancing for my life. Take your passion and make it happen.
Y'all going down?
Yeah. How you doing? Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you very
sir.
much. Thank you.
Finally got him. Hey, I just saw you. As soon as I got in the wheelchair, I saw you bringing trays around.
How you doing?
Glad to be going home.
I know you will.
Oh, I tell you.
I bet you will.
Had a stent put in. Here we are at the lobby.
All closed down,
Mm-hmm.
but the smell still lingers.
Yep. Quitting time. Busy place. How you doing? I'm doing good. Going home. Thank you.
It's great out there.
It's nice, isn't it? Sweet life. Yeah.
What a feeling, feels believing. I can't have it all.
I'm back. And I want to give you a little bit of Stent history. I am a retired Georgia history teacher, and I always like to look up the history of things, and so I looked up the history of stents, and to me, and I think to you, it's very, very interesting. The current accepted origin of the word stent, S-T-E-N-T, is that it derives from the name of an English dentist of all things, Charles Thomas Stent, who was born in 1807 and died in 1885. He is notable for his advances in the field of denture making. Yes, denture making. A dentist in London, he is most famous for improving and modifying the denture base of the natural polymer gutta perca, creating the stent's compounding that made it practical as a material for dental impressions. Now, the first use of a coronary stent is typically attributed to Jacques Piel, a Frenchman, and Ulrich Sigwart, who implanted a stent into a patient in Toulouse, France in 1986, just 37 short years ago. That stent was used as a scaffold to prevent a vessel from closing and to avoid restenosis in coronary surgery, a condition where scar tissue grows within the stent and interferes with vascular flow. The first Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, approved stent in the United States. The first approved stent in the United States was created by Richard Schatz and his co-workers, named the Palmaz Schatz from Johnson & Johnson. It was developed in 1987 to further reduce the incidence of narrowing of the artery or stenosis. The drug-eluting stent was introduced in 2003. Research has led to general stent design changes and improvements since that time. Now, I'm going to try to remember the procedure that was used to install my stent. First, I was hooked up to an IV. I made sure that glucose was not in it because I'm a type 1 insulin-dependent diabetic who uses an insulin pump. A glucose drip, here it is. It's part of me. A glucose drip would have run my glucose up to 300 to 400, and I normally try to keep it around 150 or lower. I had it down at that time to an acceptable level of 150 in spite of being stressed. Stress drives up my blood sugar. It always runs it up. And I was under a lot of stress, and I kept looking at it, and maybe tweaking it a little bit, adding a half unit here and a half unit there, trying to keep it at 150 because I knew that was where it should be when they started this procedure. Well, guess what? The nurse wanted to take away my insulin pump. Yeah, she wanted to take it away. I told her, no way are you taking my insulin pump, and that I was quite capable of managing my diabetes with my pump. After all, I've been a diabetic since I was 19, and I'm 71, be 72 in May, and I've been on this insulin pump, I don't know, 20 years, maybe 30. I know how to manage it. I know how to manage my diabetes with the pump. And then the nurse replied, I know she's just doing her job. She said, well, I'll have to check with the cardiologist nurse to see if you can keep that pump. I said, well, check with her, check with him. But I don't care what they say. I'm keeping this pump right here by my side and to keep me at a decent level of blood sugar through this whole procedure. Next, I was given a calming drug through the IV that she had connected because I was pretty agitated, but that was standard procedure anyway. It seemed within seconds I was in la la land. The room was North Pole cold, as all operating rooms are, and one of the nurses put a heated blanket over me, for which I was very grateful. I barely remember Dr. Wang's coming in the cardiologist that was going to install my stent. The stent insertion seemed to take only seconds, and it was over. The training and practice these doctors go through are intense, and they perform with precision and speed. He had a whole list of people that he was going to put stents in that day. The next thing I remember is being rolled to the recovery room. Dr. Wagdzies came by again with my wife Joyce, and he smiled and was happy with the results and said, "Would you like to go home?" I said, "Would I? You mean I can go home and not have to spend the night?" He said, "Everything looks really, really good, and you can go home." Oh, those were great words for me to hear. Then another nurse came in and went over the discharge procedure and what I could and could not do at home, and what I could and could not have at home. And don't you think that I have followed that procedure to the letter? Now for my closing remarks. First, I'm very thankful for all of your prayers and support, especially to my brother Don. He brought Chick-fil-A twice when I was in the hospital, and he's bringing Joyce and I's dinner tonight. I mean, is that a great brother or what? Thank you, Don. I'm grateful to my children, Denise, Kevin, Kelly, and Scott, for their prayers and concern. And for my grandchildren, Gabriel, Kayla, and Benjamin. They have called and texted. They were worried about Granddaddy and said they were praying for me. I'm thankful for my pastor, Charlie Stakely, who called and texted the elders of Redeemer Presbyterian Church and also the ladies' prayer group, and to Kaoki Baptist Church, and especially the senior adult Sunday school teacher, Tony. I'm grateful to my wife, Joyce, who has been by my side every moment and attended to my every need. All I can say is, wow, just wow. Overall is my Heavenly Father, who has extended graciously and mercifully a few more years of my life here on this earth. Of course, now, I'm looking forward to my heavenly home up there, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like. No diabetes, no heart trouble, no pain, no sorrow. When he's ready, he'll call me home. And I'm kind of thankful that he wasn't quite ready yet to call me home, because I've had a good time. I've worked mighty hard for this retirement that I'm enjoying. Worked 3 jobs most of my life. I've coached baseball and softball for schools and got paid for it. I pastored churches. I taught 8th grade Georgia history. I've worked hard to enjoy these years of retirement, and I'm very, very grateful. These retirement years are a blessing, and we like to go RV camping. We like to travel and spend time with our families. We enjoy going to church and just basically doing what we want to do and enjoy doing. Now, I'll close by leaving you with one of my favorite Bible verses, Psalms 37:25. I have been young, and now I'm old, 71, almost 72. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed out begging bread. God bless all of you. Thank you for watching. May you stay and keep in good health. Eat healthy. Get a little exercise. And what got me was smoking those cigars. And I quit that. I quit. As soon as I had that heart attack, I went to the trash can and threw them away. You may have seen that video. So I am serious, dead serious about my health now. And I don't want to do anything to jeopardize the life I enjoy now and the life that God has given me. God bless all of you. Thank you again for watching.
Hey, this is Dan White. Thank you so much for watching. What a Feeling by Irene Cara, 1983.